Shannon, are you surprised Matty Ice went for only a third-round pick?
No, I'm not. Because I think the thing is that the Atlanta Falcons wanted to do right by Matt Ryan. Skip, he'd been there for 14 years. He didn't have a no-trade clause in his contract like Russell Wilson, like a Deshaun Watson. So he was basically at the Falcons' mercy. Now, maybe the Falcons can try and move him somewhere else where they get more compensation, but the team is worse. They say, you know what, we're going to try to do right by you, Matty. Where would you like to go? Where would be ideal? He's like, I think Indy would be nice. And Indy is a nice situation. If you remember when they had Phillip Rivers, they had a nice little squad. But I believe Matt Ryan is more mobile than Phillip Rivers because you remember, Skip, when he had Kyle Shanahan in the West Coast system, they put Matt Ryan on the move a lot. He threw outside of the pocket. Nice running game. Offensive line is stupendous. He has a top 3 offensive line. Quentin Nelson is the best guard in football. The center is a Pro Bowl player. The right tackle, Braden Smith, they're loaded. Now, they got to replace Eric Fisher at the left tackle, so I don't know if they go into the draft and do that. I don't know if there's anybody else out there. But they have a really, really nice offensive line. Defensively, Darius Leonard, they got the defensive tackle. They've got players that can go make plays. So they're good. This is a team that's ready to compete right now. And the Atlanta Falcons did Matt Ryan a solid by sending him there. Now, like I said, could they have maybe canvassed and says, okay, second-round pick? Because you mentioned he's a MVP, Offensive Player of the Year. Still got a night. He's what, 367 touchdowns, almost 60,000 yards. So he's still got some game in him. So I just think they did him a solid. Indy, that's not much, Skip. They got two third-rounders from Washington. All they're basically doing is sending one of those, send it right on out the back door to Atlanta Falcons. So I think everybody wanted this situation. Atlanta is doing the exact same thing that a lot like Seattle, Skip. They're starting going scorched earth. They're burning it down and going to try to build this thing back up.
I think Indy gave its own third, but he got 2/3 for Carson Wentz. Okay, but Carson Wentz went for 2/3, and Matt Ryan went for 1/3.
But you got to understand, Carson Wentz still in what, 28 years of age? Matt Ryan is 37.
Yeah, but I'll take Matt Ryan over Carson Wentz any day.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Skip. If Washington now, let's just say Carson Wentz is available, Matt Ryan is available. Now, obviously, you take Matt Ryan. But if the Falcons are willing to trade him in the conference, they might not have been willing to trade him in the conference. I get him out of the conference. I put him in the AFC, so it's not like you got to worry about him anyway, because you're not doing anything this year, Atlanta. You got a couple of years to go before you get back to winning some games.
Okay. I sit back and I look at what's happened to Matt Ryan since 28-3 in the Super Bowl. Well, they did come back the next year and make the playoffs at 10-6.
I think they lost to Indy, didn't they lose? No, lost to New England.
New England, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then it started to fade. His team around him started to fade, and they couldn't protect him anymore because he got sacked 40-plus times each of these years. So I give you all the above. So it's which came first, chicken or egg, quarterback or help. And it's probably 6 of one, half dozen the other. But his QBR started to fade because he was 9th in 2018. Then it goes to 14th, 16th, and last year 21st. Fading. I think he lost confidence. I think he lost his physical edge. I think he lost his way in Atlanta. And at some point, enough was enough. And so Arthur Blank sat back and said, okay, I've seen enough of that. We've got to start over. Yet it's not his mission, the owner's mission or goal or object, to do right by Matty Ice. You got to do right by your football team first, right?
That's normally the case, but Mr. Blank has an appreciation.
He does.
Because think about when he came, Skip. It was right after the Vic situation.
Yep.
So we needed somebody to help us put that in the rear view.
And he did do that. He missed a grand total of 3 games in 14 seasons. That's pretty great.
That's pretty for that position.
He gave you all that he had to give you.
He did do that.
And as he starts to fade, it was time for them to cut bait with him and go forward. But guess what their dead money is? It leaves a charge on their cap of $40 million, 40.3. It's 40.525.
Okay.
That's called dead cap money. It's the most charge of any player of all time.
Right.
So you're stuck with that, and you're already stuck with dead money from Julio and Dante Fowler. That
But you did save $10 million. You got $10 million to cap. But here's the thing, Skip.
Yeah, he's scheduled to count $48 million against your cap.
But think about this, Skip. No Calvin Ridley, no Julio. You're playing with a rookie tight end who's sensational, and that was basically all that you had. Now Gage, who ends up going to Tampa, played really well, but now you factor in offensive line wasn't very good.
Nope.
I'm going to take away Julio, and I'm going to take away Ridley, and only going to leave you basically with a rookie tight end, and I think Justin Gage, I think that's his name, Russell Gage.
Russell Gage. Yes. Okay. So the point is, Indy just stole Matt Ryan because he's not that old when you look in the Brady comparison, and you say, well, surely he's got something left.
Yeah.
Even though he's lost his edge and maybe lost his way, Frank Reich's really good with quarterbacks, and I think he's really good with this kind of quarterback because it's meat and potatoes. It's more prototype. Baker is another flavor.
Right.
You know, you got to want that flavor, and if you like that flavor, it'll taste really good.
Right.
But Matt Ryan is prototype. Matt Ryan is as good as it gets as model off the field, model on the field. You can trust his demeanor. You can trust his behavior. You can trust the way he will act.
When you say prototype, Nick Foles, drop back, throw the football. Phillip Rivers, drop back, throw the football. Matt Ryan, drop back, throw the football. He's had great success. Phillip Rivers had a great season. Although, like I said, I still believe Matt Ryan is more athletic than Phillip Rivers. I believe he can get outside of the pocket and can throw on the move better than Phillip Rivers. But this is an ideal situation for Matt Ryan. He goes to a team that I believe they were a quarterback away last year. I mean, you can't lose to Jacksonville with a chance to make the playoffs.
You had two shots in the last two games. You certainly can't lose to Jacksonville.
Right. You lost.
And they didn't just lose to Jacksonville. They got routed.
It wasn't even close.
No.
Okay, the Raiders made the playoffs. The Raiders have a good football team. I believe they're going to be even better this year.
That was a home game.
Right. You can't lose.
No.
Skip, you can't lose both of those games, and all you have to do is win one. But Atlanta's wanting to do right. And I like that, Skip. I like when a guy's giving you great service for a decade plus, if you say, you know what, I could ship him to X over here and get this, but I'm going to ship him to Y and get that because I owe him that. He's been such a great, as you mentioned, model citizen on and off the field.
I got it, but if you're a Falcon fanatic, how do you feel about that? Because it didn't get you anywhere.
Skip, you're going to be bad anyway. You didn't get Deshaun. The only thing that would make the Falcon fans feel good was getting Deshaun Watson or getting a comparable quarterback. Well, maybe they go in the draft and maybe Willis or Pickett or one of them, Matt Corral, or they get one of these guys, Skip. But other than that,
trust me, Marcus Mariota is not the answer.
Well, he knows
he's a good gadget quarterback. He can do this and that. If you throw him in the game like Gruden was trying to do, he can get loose for
teams. As long as teams don't have an opportunity to prepare for his skill set. He can catch you off guard, Skip. He's going to come in there and run the zone read, or he'll run, like you said, a gadget here or there. But if I get an opportunity to watch you and study you on film and okay, we're going to play on Sunday, we've seen that. But Arthur Smith had him in Tennessee. He knows the system as opposed to bringing somebody else in, Skip. But I think, for me, the Colts definitely get what they wanted. Skip, Atlanta they just cleaning the building, Skip. They cleaning the building. They go have new chairs. They gonna have new wallpaper. They gonna have everything new in the office.
But what a terrible thing to say about a franchise.
Skip, you'll see it. With no Julio, no Matt Ryan. The defense has always been bad for them. Even with your guy DQ that was in Dallas, you know he had a horrible defense.
It was the worst pass defense in history.
Great job, gentlemen. I've got to insist you leave it there, though. It'll certainly be interesting to see if Mariota can be more than just a bridge quarterback.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.